time here we go again, you know I'll always stay. Every little thing that I said I would do, how I wish I could share it with you, you. to me? What you say to me? What you say to me? What you say to me? Vale. Diving in while the current's fast. Gotta leave the past, it's in the past. Yeah, I won't look back. Strike a match, watch the flames grow higher. We can burn much brighter if we don't look back. feel this alive. Every day we're gonna try. What does it take to feel this alive? Chase down our fears till they're forced to hide. What does it take to feel this alive? Every day we're gonna try. Here we go. No, we're never slowing down, darling. Here we go. No, we're never slowing down, darling. Here we go. Never slowing down. No, we're never slowing down. We'll get lost until we're found. No, we're never slowing down, darling. Here we go. Diving in while the current's fast. Gotta leave the past, it's in the past. Yeah, I won't look back. Diving in while the
Bienvenidos y bienvenidas a la International Union of Socialist Youth. Recibamos
in the past. Yeah, I won't look
a Alicia Oms, presidenta de la IES, al secretario general de las Juventudes Socialistas de España, Víctor Camino, al presidente de la IUSY, Jesús Tapia, a la secretaria de la Unión Europea de la CEF y presidenta del Grupo SID, Irache García, a Hanna Yalul, secretaria de Política Internacional y Cooperación al Desarrollo de la CEF PSOE, a Benedicta Lassi, candidata a la secretaria general de la Internacional Socialista, y al secretario general del Partido Socialista Obrero Español y presidente del Gobierno, Pedro Sánchez.
feel the blood rushing through my veins. Casting brand new wings. No, we won't go back. What does it take to make our dreams alive? The smallest change can make you feel alive. Here we go.
Sí, se me escucha. Bueno, muchísimas gracias, compañeros y compañeras. Es un auténtico honor para mí.
Thank you very much, dear colleagues. It's a great honor for me as President of the European Socialist Youth to be here in this young event with the presence of the only candidate to the Socialist International presidency. We also have the candidate for Secretary General and also my colleagues in the youth group. It's a great pleasure to be here sharing this event with you, and I would like to start by giving thanks. I work with the international youth very often, and I think our collaboration and our work together is very important. My counterpart in the international youth is someone who's working very much with us, and also our Secretary General. The values we share, democracy, peace in the world, feminism, fight against the climate change, all those things that we have in common in Europe and also internationally, we do them together. And Pedro, let me tell you that in the international Union of Socialist Youth, in the IUSY, you will have a great partner, a great ally, because we have great strength, great ideas. We are a wonderful team. We have members of the Presidium here, and it's essential that the Socialist International comes together with the IUSY. So you're going to team up perfectly, and without further ado, let me give the floor to the Secretary General of the Spanish Socialist Youth, Víctor Camino. Good morning. Thank you, and welcome to the home of the Spanish Socialists, and also this week to the home of the World Socialists. I'm very proud and honored to welcome you here in such an important day, such an important week for Spanish socialism, European socialism, and also for world socialism. Look, every moment in history, in every territory, there is a socialist that wakes up in the morning and suffers the consequences of governments that do not think of the majority, and they are concerned about inequalities. So with that, we managed to weave alliances that are essential for socialists and those of us who believe in a better world. This is why it's a matter of pride to claim the importance of Spanish, European, and world youth, the IUSY. With important people such as Bruno and Jesus, they are tirelessly working to include every approach in the world. And this is very difficult because there are many questions, many different answers. Whenever we find an answer, the questions change. This is a hyper-fast time. But there is always people putting their lives at risk to defend our values. Pelio, you are very inspiring for the Spanish youth and also for the socialist youth in the world. And that's for one reason. We always speak about personal stories that mean collective success. We know much about that in Spain. Right now, in Spain, after the consequences of the war, we see young people waking up in the morning, leaving their homes, for which they're spending 250 euros rent. They take public transportation. They listen to an audiobook for free if they have our bond, and they go to university where they get 100 euros in a scholarship, and if they go to work, they have a minimum wage of 1,000 euros and a stable contract. That's a success story, a shared success story, and that didn't just sprout out like a mushroom. It came about because of will. There was will. Thanks to the law on democratic memory, people are being buried in decent places. We are the grandchildren of those people who are properly buried now and being dignified. And there are also serious mental health problems in every country. And this is something that makes us stand up and say that we can't take it anymore. Because sometimes you just can't. With this partnership and with these great representatives, with Alicia, Irache, also you, Benedicta, your great force, and also Aitana's work. You are all doing a great job, and all together we're going to launch a message. 115 years ago, no one told the IUSY what was going to happen, but we knew the attitude it took to face the problem. So whenever you hear that everything is written, that's right wing that wants everything to go bad, we're going to reply that no one is going to write our history for us at every level, from the borders to the center, from the nation to the world, on behalf of those who stood up and said that we want to use socialism to change people's lives. Thank you very much to all of you. Now I'll give you Irache, the Vice President of the Socialist Party and also a voice in the European Parliament. Thanks, Victor, and good morning to all of you. It's a great pleasure to be with you and share In this framework, in the Socialist International, first of all, I would like to thank the IUSY for having me here. For the time I've been as the president of the PS, we've had several opportunities to work together with the youth group and carry out different activities. And you know well how important it is for us. You know how important it is for a political family and European social democracy that organizations, youth organizations committed to change the world can have the opportunity to have places together. Let me tell you one thing. I started out my political career in the Socialist Youth. I know that for some of you this might be a drawback, but let me say that I'm always very proud of it, very proud. Believe me, it forges your character and your traits. It's above all, it's a great example of commitment, engagement. Those of you who have decided to change the world and make a better world for themselves, for the future generation, and those after us. So thanks for your involvement. You being here is a great example of that engagement. Bringing about a more feminist and green and fair world, and you can count on us, you can count on the Socialists and Democrats. We have the chance to speak about a future full of challenges and opportunities. We know that there are opportunities. You are aware of that. You are a generation that has gone through several crises already. And that's precisely why you can tell how different crises can be managed. There is a government in Spain and in Europe where socialism is making a difference. We are putting social justice and equality in the agenda, as well as moving forward in fundamental rights, fighting discrimination, achieving respect to diversity. I'm persuaded that there is still a long way to go, and it is very important that we are aware that this struggle will result in leaving future generations a better world. You are not the future, you are the present. Without you, the organization would not be able to understand the reality of a never-changing world, a fast-changing world. So please, come with us. Talk to us. And please tell us what we are not doing right, because we need that. We need an engaged youth with their own minds and able to make this world a better and fairer place. Now, let me give the floor to your president, Jesus, the youth president. Thanks, Iracha. Thanks, Alicia, for being with us. Thanks to Benedicta, the next Secretary General of the Socialist International. Thanks to Victor as well. And we welcome your support to the Spanish Socialist Youth. Also, Ana Jung, thanks for all the hard work over the past few days. Irache, thank you. From the European Parliament, you have been supporting the international youth, and this is a great work for us. This is very important, so thank you to you and your group of Socialists and Democrats. And also thanks to our friend, partner, and President of the Socialist International, future President of the Socialist International, Pedro Sánchez. Without any doubt, He's here today listening to our youth, listening to what we have to say for the future, and we are persuaded that we will work hand in hand to meet the challenges to come. They told me to be brief, so I have written some words because I have a golden opportunity and there are things I need to say. Let me say that we are going through important times for the international left wing. It is very important for our family. We are about to start the process that help us reflect upon the commitments of the historical times we are going through. The international left has faced many challenges, and there are still many in front of us. Among them, the necessary unification of our family. The Socialist International and the International Youth have worked together for a long time. We have a long history of work together. And with you, Pedro Sánchez, we are persuaded that new doors will open for our youth and there will be many contributions and new spaces will open. The youth are facing great challenges worldwide, and at the International Youth, we are working to make change happen. We are fighting for democracy and liberty. In the 115 years of history in the International Youth, we welcome you to dream with us and work for all the challenges to create an international association for mental health, preserving nature and the environment and the human rights throughout the world. We are persuaded that the future of the world is social democracy. This is what we can't step back. For a feminist, ecologist, democratic and transparent left, dear Pedro, let's make it happen. Now, I would like to give the floor to Ana Hayul. Thank you. Thanks to all of you for having me here. It's a great pleasure, especially having colleagues such as yourselves and, of course, the President of the Government. I'm very happy to be here. I've been with the youth. I'm a university lecturer, and I love being with young people. I call it therapy, because you go there and you leave the classroom with renewed strength. I'm also going to be brief, and I'm going to tell you about how I met the International Youth. Since the President made me Secretary on International Politics, we worked to organize this forum and this meeting in Madrid, and I have to thank many people. Thanks to Victor, thanks to Irache, you've been working tirelessly, as well as Santa and all of my colleagues. Bruno and Jesus have been very important, because we had to work very hard within the organization to make this happen. They are essential for our organization, and they had great knowledge, and I wanted to thank you for that. Yes. I still remember that 4th of August, where Bruno called me and told me, we need to organize a presidium. And I said, sure, we are committed with the youth. The President has always been committed with that. You know, the International Youth has had some struggle with the International Youth, with the Spanish youth, and we wanted to do something about that. So you suggested that to the President wanted to do his bits, and here we are. We have always been committed to the youth movement, to the IUSY, and we will keep on walking together. It's very important that the international organizations reflect upon the needs of the society, housing, mental health. These are core concerns. We're going to work hand in hand, and these topics need to be always on the table. I see that young people are very much outspoken, and you always have your say, and we are here to hear. You are the leaders of tomorrow. You are the ones who will change the world. So you need to start doing things right from now, and we will be supporting you. I will not say much more because I don't have much time, but I do want to say that I would like to thank the President of the government for his trust. The daughter of an Arab father, and I was the first diverse person in the country, and I will in the party, and that will always be in my heart. And my mum and dad are very proud and excited about that. When the president decided that the Socialist International had to renew itself and look towards Africa, for me and those of us who believe in inclusion and diversity policies, it's a matter of pride. The world is changing. The world needs young people with lots of strength, and women, especially women. That is very important. And that is something that we owe to men such as the President of the government, who has always believed in women, and he has supported your candidacy from the very beginning. Dear Benedita, I give you the floor, and please welcome. It's a great pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anna, and thank you all for being here. I want to say a very big thank you to PSOE for your warm reception. I also want to use this opportunity to call on all of you to, on behalf of myself and on behalf of young people and on behalf of women, I want to say a very big thank you to Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez for your commitment and your dedication to the cause of young people across the world, and especially in your confidence in a young person from Africa being Secretary General for the SI. Thank you very much. I am quite privileged sitting among young people today, not just because I'm a young person myself, but because I was a IUSY veteran. 7 years ago, I was vice president of IUSY. Just like you, I was very passionate about the issues of the world. I was born into a family that is right-leaning. And when I went to the university, I began asking myself questions about politics. And I found out that I was naturally committed to the left. Our values of social justice, equal opportunity, was what drew me to the SI and the IUSY. I knew that in the coming years, I had to make a very important decision in my life as to which political party or which political family I wanted to belong to. And because of this diversity and inclusivity, I decided, against the wishes of my father, to join the leftist party in Ghana. And so being here today is a choice I made. And I believe that you all here made that choice. As young people, we have the opportunity to change the world, not just with our words, but with our actions. And in taking this very important step in your lives, to be committed to the cause of development and social justice and fighting for those who do not have the opportunity to be heard, I think we all deserve to take this commitment seriously and see this as an opportunity to serve not just our generation, but for the generations unborn. We are committed to the cause of justice. We are committed to the cause of development, not just in our developing world, but also asking ourselves as young people, how do we change the perception that the world has of politicians and politics? It is our time now to take up that responsibility and show the world that indeed we believe in our family, our ideology, and we know that with our commitment to our values, with our commitment to ensuring that there is development in the world all over, including the global south, we would show to the world that yes, as young people, we are not just partakers in the discussions, but we are committed in putting action behind the words that we preach out there. And so today I'm here being privileged to assume the position as the next Secretary General of the SI, committed to ensuring that the SI and IUSY foster a much stronger bond, a much stronger cooperation in our common fight for social justice. Being a veteran of IUSY, I think that it is not just a commitment by words, but having sat where Bruno and my colleague Presidium members are seated, I know that before today, I used to be a IUSY Vice President. I used to be a IUSY Coordinator of Africa. And so being in my position, I believe that I would be the link between IUSY and the SI. And I would ensure that our commitment to jointly pursuing our shared values and our common ideology would be achieved in the coming years. And this is my commitment to you, not just by words, but by deeds also. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, dear colleagues, like the Secretary General of the Socialist Youth, Victor, said. Welcome. This is your home. This is the home of the Spanish Socialist Party. This building was bought at the beginning of our democracy by the socialists because this is where the founding father of the party lived over 140 years ago, Pablo Iglesias. And ever since, this home, as well as all the history of Spain, has gone through difficult times, but also times of hope, where the Socialist Party has played a major role in the advance of rights and the consolidation of democracy in this country. And with the Socialist Party, the Socialist Youth, like Irache said before, I also claim my past in the Socialist Youth. I was the Secretary General. I was the Secretary General of a small group in a district in Madrid, along with many other colleagues who have been with me over the time during my political career. I always say that the PSOE, that has a history of 140 years long, is the oldest country in the Spanish political system. And it's also the youngest party. And we are young because we always look forward. At the end of the day, this organization is a river where different movements flow, such as feminism, ecology movements, peace for Ukraine and many other places in the world. And I'm especially proud of wearing this pin. I didn't know the IUSY is 150 years old. 115 years old, and that does not only show the long life of the young projects of the socialists, but also many things like listening to Verita. She's going to be a great Secretary General of the Socialist International. But listening to her, I can tell you that we are going to work together, because we must highlight the political engagement of the youth, especially of the youth, because that's a way to defend and advocate for a very different type of politics. Yesterday, we saw another case of political hooliganism. And we're getting used to that by the right-wing parties. Insults, no proposals, just blocking for the sake of it. those insults, that political hooliganism of the political right should make us be more aware and persuaded of useful politics. Like today, we are going to pass a new budget to defend the minorities in this country. We're going to pass a budget for those who have the most, help the most, to those who need the most. And we defend the life together as an essential factor for the development of our democracy. I believe that this Congress of the International Socialists is also your Congress, and it's coming at a time that is very sensitive for the global political history. And I don't want to be too transcendental now. Very often we say that the international crisis in 2008 got a neoliberal response that was a huge failure. And the citizens know that, they perceive that, they saw the breaches of territory inequality within countries and within territories and in this society grew bigger. But that does not mean that the citizens, before the failure of neoliberalism, is going to turn to social democracy as the only option. There are many other options that are coming about in the world political scenario. We've seen this in the US with Trump. We saw this, unfortunately, with Bolsonaro, although it's over in Brazil, and we have seen this in many parts of the world. This is why I think that it's very important for young people in the Socialist International, and also for us. It's also very important that we are aware that we need to build new utopias, new values around social democracy. And this is the work we need to do together, the IUSY and the Socialist International. We need to come up with new utopias that mobilize a social majority in our countries and in the world, because of course they agree with social justice. They put their stakes on actual equality between men and women. And of course they want their children and grandchildren to have an environmentally friendly planet and a diverse planet. And they want a world in peace. But they need to see democratic socialism, social democracy. It has to be seen as the tool to move forward and make these utopias come about. I believe that today, more than ever, we need to advocate for the IUSY and the Socialist International as the tool to get there, because that's very dear for us and that's part of our political commitment. The other day I met the Socialist International women and I said one thing. Listen, the right wing always, and sometimes unfortunately also in some left wings leaders, some leaderships tend to stick to the status quo. They do not want to change things. They do not want to bring about any change because it needs to to put your hands down. But I describe myself as a person who loves change, who works for change. And let me tell you that from the point of view of the Socialist International, we're going to change this, turn the tables around. Thank you.
Brand new wings. No, we won't go back. alive.